Okay, now that the plans are ready to view, we can now access the plans via this Access Plans tab, or we can choose the Takeoff tab on the side here. Both this Takeoff tab and the Access Plans will take us directly to the same spot where we can start doing some on-screen takeoffs after we calibrate the plans. So we'll click on that. You can see it's our house plans and it's sheet 1. Okay, you can see that the red tab in the middle of the screen, it says calibration required. Also, please ensure calibration is correct. If you need to recalibrate any takeoffs related to this sheet, will be lost. So in other words, if we do the calibration and we don't get it right the first time and we realize after we've done some takeoffs that we have to redo it, then those original takeoffs will be lost. So we click here. You see here it says select 2 points to calibrate drawing. So I like to use these bottom parts of the dimension rather than trying to find this bit here, because the snapping does snap to different areas. So this one snaps there, it's nice and clear, snaps there. I'll bring this down here so I can see it. Click back in there, and we're putting in the unit type as meters. So I'll go 4.999 and press enter, or click the calibrate button. So now that has been calibrated, what we want to do is just double check that that is the correct measurement. So what I also like to do is just do it. So we have to be able to measure, we use these tools down here. This is the one we want, the line tool, but it's grayed out. So to make these active, we need to at least have one takeoff. So for this one, I'll just call it a test takeoff. I'll use the lineal meters. It doesn't really matter which one you use, but I'll use that one for example, and I'll create that. Now you can see I've got an ungrouped takeoff called test, which I've just created. And now it's saying lineal meters and it's 0. You can also see that these tools down the bottom are now active. And on the side here, we have a lineal meter and test. And this would be like if we're doing some takeoffs, each measurement will get added into this column and get totaled at the top here. So for now, let's just double check that calibration is correct. And that looks spot on. So we don't need to do anything from there. This was really just to check it. So we press escape without clicking on anything else extra, and that gets rid of it. Okay, and that's how you add your plans in and calibrate the plans. Each plan that you go to needs to be calibrated, so click on the remaining sheets that you want to do takeoffs on and calibrate each plan. Now to access the remaining sheets, up the top here we've got takeoffs and we've got plans. Click on the plans. If we've got multiple sets of plans, you'll access them by this drop down list, but we've only got the one set at the moment, so that's fine. You can see here we've got these other pages. So to move to another page, we'll click on that. And again, we calibrate this, the same process as before. You can see on this plan, there are no dimensions to use. So in this case where it does happen, what we would need to do is go back to the original floor plan. And what we can do is we see the outside dotted line of the walls. So what we do is we'd go back to the original floor plan with the dimensions. We'd find out what the distance is from this point to this point, and then we would just do the same thing again. Click on the red tab, click on that point, and then enter our amount. Pretty sure that one was 6.720. Enter. And now again we can just check, and I'm not clicking on the second point because if I do, that'll create the measurement. I'm just hovering over the area. Okay, press escape, and that's how you change plans. If you're down on another plan and you're over here and you want to get back to your takeoffs, scroll back to the top, click on the takeoffs, and you're back at the takeoff page where you can create more measurements.